to max OT, and G2 proved victorious. Des, you were right. There you go. That's all you need to hear. Analyst segment complete.
That's the
Bye.
whole analyst.
That's the tweet, boys. No, it is. Yeah, I think again after the first map, we all had a good idea of how this series was going. I'll give VP some credit. They did start fighting their way back into this one, specifically Pasha. Dude was an absolute monster in so many rounds. Like I think it's round 6 and 7 I've got down in my notes as being the rounds where he got a 3K and a 4K. Quite literally dragged his team over the finish line in those rounds. And then a certain player that we all know, Mr. Ben McMillan, Citizen, does his thing, Jess. What more can you say about that? He had a monster of a map.
You know, when G2 picked up Citizen, I said that he was one of the best Valkyrie players at the time I had seen, and that I thought it was a brilliant pick up Citizen. So at the time, I actually have full faith that G2 was the super team. They had every super player. They had players that I had been watching, clapping for, just gasping and you know, wanting to see their number fights especially. Now we're seeing bits of it that we really missed out on, I feel, in the UL stages, and now we're kind of getting that match from the team that we haven't otherwise gotten. I actually think the reason we're seeing so much explosive plays from G2 today is they don't really have to show stats. They can go heavy frag if they want to, because they've got other things to worry about. And how crazy is it? You can go heavy frag, be a little bit loose on the strats, and you still dominate a team when you're hiding things. I think that's really cool.
No, I definitely agree. I also want to add to this, as you're saying it, explaining what's kind of the things that are G2 preparing for. Remember, Invitational is right around the corner. Both of these teams are not going to give everything that they have because Invitational is the biggest tournament of them all, and definitely G2 that have so far only made it through last year via an invited spot, this year by hair thin bringing themselves down into the Invitational, a lot on the line, and they really want to show what they've got. This is kind of the practice towards it. Now I want to ask you, Jess, in general, G2 banned the Ying. We were having kind of conversation around operator bans and how they have an impact on Cafe. Do you think that VP lost one of their, let's say, Joker cards that they could have used via that ban with G2?
I don't think it was something that was a complete difference maker regardless. Maybe on one of their strategies, top floor specifically, they would turn around and go, well, we would actually need the Ying because that's how we're going to do a Skylight drop, we're going to do a cocktail take. However they would have utilized it, maybe that's something they missed out on. They had to go a little bit more vanilla on the way that they pushed. Fair enough. But for the most part, no, I don't think so. I don't think it's one of those strats that they run every time and it has to work every time. Maybe not. The lack of shields was something that I sort of thought maybe detrimented them a bit because it left them a little bit wide open, and G2 played that quite well. In fact,
Randy,
it might
you're
have
back
been
a little late.
Maybe
if we win this, we
Twitter,
got this.
actually, and he said something to the effect of G2 was holding angles in a way that every time VP would shoulder peak, they would wait for the second shoulder peak, and they would take the engagement and they would get a freebie almost every time. I actually kind of like the way he explained it because that does encompass a lot of what I did see, that G2 were winning a lot of gunfights, and it came down to the way that G2 were holding certain angles, positioning was really strong.
I'll push
VP's
with you
positioning,
just to kind
conversely,
of keep it
really
2-on-2.
bad, and I think that comes down to your understanding of
I
where
would
you sit on
suggest
the
we go in
map,
the
and
office
maybe
area
shields were a little bit of a crutch for them in the past.
I do want to give a nod towards Uno for this map as well. Like, I know earlier on we were talking about him and saying, look, his stats aren't always the best, but G2 will defend into the bitter end, saying what a great player he is for them. I think it really started in round number 8 when Citizen started popping off, but actually it was Uno drawing 3 or 4 flashbangs. He was the one being swung in from the rappel. He was the